He was loyal. He was respected. He was trusted with the capital of a nation. He believed a dictatorship needed rules, and that even Mao should obey them. That belief would destroy him. When a single play hinted at criticism, Peng Zhen refused to twist art into fear. And Mao Zedong decided, one honest man was more dangerous than 1,000 enemies. Tonight, in Dictators Files, The Dark Side of Power, we expose how the mayor of Beijing challenged the chairman and lost everything. 1949. Beijing is a skeleton of an empire that collapsed. War rubble, empty stomachs, broken pride. Peng Zhen arrives not with poetry or promises, but with order. He restores public services. He feeds the hungry. He repairs water lines, schools, hospitals. He drives gangsters out of alleys and corrupt officials out of offices. To Beijing, Peng Zhen feels like sunrise after a long night. Workers whisper, Peng cares, Peng listens. That whisper spreads, and Mao hears it like a threat. Peng Zhen is more than a politician. He is a believer in rules. He fights crime not with slogans, but with law books. He tells the party, we must govern by systems, not by personal will. But Mao only respects will, his own. Every law Peng strengthens feels like a chain tightening around Mao's absolute authority. Peng does his job too well. Beijing becomes efficient. Citizens admire him. Officials trust him. The party depends on him, and Mao hates depending on anyone. So Mao smiles his wide, false smile. The smile of a man who has already chosen his victim. Historian Roderick MacFarquhar once wrote, Mao's greatest suspicion fell on those who made the state function better than he could. Peng Zhen is building a capital for China. Mao sees him building a rival center of loyalty. One mistake, one moment of truth, and Mao will strike. 1959. Peng Zhen rises higher, now a powerful Politburo member and head of the Beijing Party Committee. He oversees legal affairs for the entire state. His job, stop chaos, protect the people, defend the party from its own worst instincts, a role that should bring pride. But in a dictatorship, it paints a target on his back. Peng insists on evidence before punishment, debate before decisions, responsibility over fanaticism. He pushes back against extreme campaigns. He shields innocent officials accused during Mao's political battles. People start saying, Peng Zhen is the man who keeps us safe. Those words are poison in Mao's China. Mao wants a state fueled by fear and worship. Peng wants a state run by laws and competence. Historian Michael Schoenhals observes, Peng Zhen defended institutions. Mao needed them broken. Peng tries to moderate the fallout of Mao's great leap forward. Peasants starving, harvest numbers falsified, provinces collapsing. Peng tells party members, reality must guide policy. Reality is Mao's enemy. Peng's popularity grows. Mao's resentment grows faster. Mao watches him like a cat watches a bird that has not yet noticed the trap. The chairman whispers to advisors, Peng Zhen thinks too highly of himself. And in Mao's world, thinking at all is already too highly. In 1964, a writer named Wu Han, Peng's colleague and friend, publishes a historical play, Rui Dismissed from Office. A story of a loyal official who dared to criticize the emperor and was punished for telling the truth. Audiences applaud. Mao does not. He sees himself in the tyrant. He sees Peng Zhen in the loyal critic. And Mao decides, art will be the knife. Peng Zhen will be the first cut. 1965. A play premieres in Beijing theaters. Rui Dismissed from Office. It tells the story of a loyal official who dared criticize a corrupt emperor and was executed for his honesty. Mao watches the performance. He smiles. He sleeps. Because he knows the song is old, but the meaning is new. Historian Roderick MacFarquhar writes, "The play became the thin end of the wedge, a weapon masquerading as criticism." Peng Zhen reads the play. He sees symbolism, but he also sees a chance to debate. At a Politburo meeting, he argues, "Can we not handle art with logic? Should a play decide politics?" Others nod, but Mao's eyes burn with something darker. Fear. Possibility. Peng believes in law, duty, structure, but Mao believes in fear, power, chaos. Silence becomes the final verdict. Secret meetings, whispered warnings to cadres, demands to clean up ideological deviations. Mao orders newspapers to print cryptic essays, warning officials to beware enemies disguised as loyalists. The message is clear: speak freely, and you speak against Mao. Peng is still mayor, still respected, still loyal, but invisible, already dead. Spring 1965. Workers replaced by Red Guards. Factories silent again. Posters demanding loyalty replace public bulletins of ration and harvest. Peng tries to protect his city. He tries to assure order. He tries to hide the truth from those who will punish it. But truth carries no weight when fear carries a badge. Late at night, Peng visits a deserted street. Trash, broken signs, posters calling for denunciation. An old policeman guards nothing. Peng asks quietly, "When did we trade law for terror?" No answer. He turns and leaves. Mao watches the empty street. He counts the days until the play becomes the first target, and Peng becomes the sacrifice. Deep inside Zhongnanhai, Mao whispers to Kang Sheng. Adults hesitate. Children obey. Mao begins calling on students, young minds full of passion but empty of fear. He promises them purity. He promises them purpose. He promises them power. Universities receive orders. Study Mao's thought. Attack revisionists. Classrooms become barracks. Textbooks become weapons. Obedience becomes violence. The Red Guards are forming. Not trained soldiers, but fanatics with red armbands and Mao's face pinned to their chests. Mao will use them to smash anyone who thinks a dictator should follow rules. Their first mission? Destroy the man who dared to question Mao. Peng Zhen. February 1966. Beijing skies feel heavy, like the city knows what's coming. Peng Zhen enters a Politburo meeting, expecting debate. He finds an ambush. Across from him sit Mao Zedong, silent, smiling, Jiang Qing, Mao's wife, eyes sharp like scissors, Chen Boda, Mao's ideological hitman, Kang Sheng, the secret police mastermind. These are Mao's wolves, and Peng is bleeding before he realizes he's been cut. Chen Boda slams a report onto the table. Wu Han's play is a political attack. Peng Zhen has sheltered counter-revolutionaries. Jiangqing leans forward, voice dripping poison. Peng Zhen is protecting enemies of Chairman Mao. Peng tries to speak. It is a historical drama, not a rebellion. Mao finally lifts his head. A single sentence destroys a career. When art challenges the party, it challenges me. Silence. Cold. Deadly. Peng Zhen has just been labeled Mao's enemy. Within hours, newspapers condemn Peng Zhen as a traitor. Loudspeakers shout slogans against him. Party officials scramble to distance themselves. Files on Peng are seized from his office. Red Guard debate groups begin chanting his name with hatred. The attack is so sudden, even Peng's allies can't breathe. He was respected in the morning. He is marked for destruction by nightfall. Cowards survive by kneeling. Peng stands. He refuses to confess, refuses to apologize, refuses to call a play treason just to feed Mao's ego. His final words in the meeting: "If telling the truth is a crime, then punish me." Mao nods, not in respect, in satisfaction. A dictator enjoys when the victim walks willingly to the blade. The door closes. Peng Zhen is escorted away, his title stripped, his future erased. Outside, posters appear. Crush Peng Zhen, the capitalist viper. Defend Mao's thought. The purge has started. The terror has a face. The Cultural Revolution has begun. And Peng Zhen becomes the first warning. One disagreement, and Mao will rip your life apart. Beijing wakes up to screaming, not from fear, from permission. Red Guards swarm the streets, teenagers wearing Mao badges like holy symbols, books raised like weapons, eyes burning with righteousness. They were children yesterday. Today, Mao gives them the power to destroy. Their first target, Peng Zhen, the mayor who challenged Mao. Red Guards storm Peng's office. They flip furniture, smash portraits, seize documents. They drag his aides into hallways for beatings and confessions. Peng Zhen stands firm, calm, a soldier in a war he never chose. He is forced into a struggle session, tens of thousands screaming, "Peng Zhen is a traitor! Down with the capitalist viper! Destroy the protector of counter-revolutionaries!" His glasses are broken. His face is bruised with every chant. Historian Michael Schoenhals notes, Peng Zhen's purge was the first signal that no position, no loyalty could protect you. Mao does not appear. He lets his executioners perform the theater. Jiang Qing, Mao's wife, the self-appointed cultural warrior, accuses Peng of plotting against Mao's saintly image. Her voice sharp as blades. He hides behind rules. He shields enemies of the chairman. Every word is a nail sealing Peng's coffin. Peng Zhen's titles are removed. Mayor of Beijing, gone. Politburo member, gone. Hero of the revolution, erased. His name is torn from walls. His portrait ripped from offices. His loyalty rewritten as betrayal. The public is ordered to forget Peng ever protected them. Mao does not just beat his enemies, he deletes them. As loudspeakers demand his condemnation, Peng says the only words he can: "I have done my duty. I have no regrets." The crowd spits. Courage is useless when the dictator decides the truth. Peng is not executed. That fate would be merciful. Instead, he is imprisoned in isolation. cut off from the city he built, his voice locked away. His life turned into an example. His silence becomes Mao's warning. If I can destroy Peng Zhen, I can destroy anyone. Peng Zhen is removed from Beijing, but the terror doesn't leave with him. He is taken to a remote prison compound. No trial, no charges, no explanation, just silence and locked doors. A once trusted leader, now treated like a diseased ghost that must be kept away from society. Historian Roderick MacFarquhar writes, Peng Zhen's disappearance was designed to teach fear. The powerful can vanish at any moment. The Red Guards turn their rage toward Peng's family. His wife, Wang Shuiqin, beaten, humiliated publicly. His children, dragged into interrogation rooms. Relatives, fired, denounced, forced into struggle sessions. A young guard shouts at his daughter, "Your father opposed Chairman Mao. You must pay for his crimes." She cries, "What crime?" Their answer, laughter and fists. Peng is ordered to write confession after confession. Every page must include, "I betrayed Chairman Mao." But the truth inside him refuses to break. He writes instead, "History will speak." Mao reads the reports. He tightens the leash. Others who stood up to Mao meet brutal endings. Liu Shaoqi dies on a filthy mattress. Peng Dehuai, tortured until death. He Long, starved and poisoned. But Peng Zhen? Mao keeps him alive. Because Mao wants him to witness every year he is forgotten. Every rule he protected, now burned. Every institution he built, now corrupt. Every child turned into a fanatic, chanting Mao's name. Peng sees the China he loved, twisted into Mao's reflection. That is torture no prison can contain. Peng is a broken statue buried in darkness. Not executed. Not martyred. Erased. Mao destroys bodies when he is angry. He destroys identities when he is afraid. Peng Zhen was the first leader who dared to say Mao needed limits. Mao's reply, "In my China, there are no limits." September 9th, 1976. Mao Zedong dies. A nation forced to worship him now holds its breath, terrified of what happens next. Peng Zhen sits alone in a guarded compound, a forgotten man who once ruled the capital. For 10 years, his name has been a curse. His achievements erased. His children scarred. His city turned into a shrine for a tyrant. But when Mao's heart stops, the chains around Peng start to loosen. Slowly, carefully, terrifyingly. Because no one knows if the nightmares will continue without the dreamer. 1977 to 1978. Deng Xiaoping rises back to power. Old wounds reopened. The country starts asking questions. Who was loyal? Who was destroyed? Who deserves redemption? One name is whispered, then spoken, then announced. Peng Zhen. A broken man walks back into Beijing, head up even when his body bends from age. Historian Michael Schoenhals writes, "He returned, but he did not recover. History gave back his name, not his life." Peng is restored to office, a seat in the National People's Congress, a symbolic role, a political apology. But the scars, they never leave. Peng could demand vengeance. He could purge those who followed Mao's orders. He could feed the same machine that devoured him. He does none of it. He uses the small power he has left to rebuild systems Mao destroyed. Laws, courts, basic justice, the very tools Mao hated most. Peng Zhen lives quietly until 1988, never speaking about his suffering, never celebrating his return. Because Peng knows the truth. The monster is dead. The damage is not. Mao taught China a rule. One honest man can terrify a dictator. Peng Zhen dared to tell Mao that power should have limits, and Mao turned that truth into a crime.